He's smart, confident and doesn't put up with any BS. He realizes that a rotten culture will destroy everything. He's got no time for knuckleheads. The Jets hit a home run by hiring Adam Gase to be their next coach. Gang Green came to an agreement with the former Dolphins head coach Wednesday night, according to sources. Gase's creative mind and experience developing quarterbacks made him an ideal choice to springboard the Jets, and Sam Darnold, into the future. Gase becomes the first Jets head coach since Bill Parcells in 1997 with prior head coaching experience. He's also the franchise's first offensive-minded head coach since Rich Kotite in 1995-96. Gase's 23-26 record in Miami notwithstanding, he came with impeccable references, including Peyton Manning, who spoke to CEO Christopher Johnson during the evaluation process. Gase and Darnold also spoke during the process to get a comfort level before the final decision was made. The Jets flirted with Baylor head coach Matt Rule before things fell apart due to discrepancies over how best to assemble his staff, according to sources. Regardless, Gase was the right choice. The Jets interviewed 8 candidates, including well-regarded Buccaneers offensive coordinator Todd Monken and former Packers head coach Mike McCarthy before pulling the trigger on the 40-year-old Gase. The coaching carousel is whispered down the lane season, so rumors run rampant. Rumblings that Gase was some sort of cosmic presence who alienated Dolphins players were overblown or just plain untrue. One giant myth: Gase did not lose the Miami locker room. Frank Gore, one of the team's veteran leader, also did not privately chastise Gase as had been erroneously noted. The reality from talking to people in the know is that Gase was a terrific communicator with players with a keen understanding of player psychology designed to build confidence. He had one unyielding requirement: you have to love football. Gase wanted players to eat, sleep and breathe the game, players committed to pull the rope the same way. Publicly or privately whining about contracts or playing time was a one-way ticket out of town. You have to respect that about the man. He didn't put up with garbage. He respected players and asked for one thing in return: respect the game. Scorned former Dolphins players Jarvis Landry's and Jordan Phillips' tweets in the wake of Gase's ouster merely confirmed their knucklehead status. They underscored what Gase knew all along: you don't want people like that in your building. Gase's strong personality can galvanize a place. His bravado will be contagious. His mindset and message to his team are pure. It's some variation of this every week: we're going to score 50 points and kick their ass. He's a motivator and innovator. He will be absolutely terrific for Darnold, whose development was at the heart of this process. Critics that point to Miami's subpar offensive statistics during Gase's 3-year run need to dig deeper. Jets brass did their research to better understand why the Dolphins finished with the 17th, 28th and 26th ranked scoring offenses under Gase. Smart people look beyond the numbers to understand why the Dolphins went 6-10 and 7-9 the past 2 seasons after Gase made the playoffs with a 10-win campaign in his first year. Gase, frankly, overachieved this season given the litany of injuries and dearth of talent on his roster. The Dolphins had 13 relevant players suffer season-ending injuries, including 2 starting offensive linemen, their top cornerback and best run stuffer. Quarterback Ryan Tannehill missed 5 more games after being shelved for the entire 2017 season. Gase won 7 games with Tannehill and Brock freaking Osweiler. It's a wonder that owner Stephen Ross didn't dink Gase, who went 20-6 in one-score games during his tenure, to a lifetime contract given this miracle. Gase's biggest shortcoming, frankly, might have been placing so much public faith in Tannehill, who never fulfilled his promise. But what else could he have done? Show me a coach who publicly throws his quarterback under the bus. Gase's rationale upon his arrival was warranted, with so much doubt swirling around Tannehill's ability to be a true franchise quarterback. The coach wanted to instill him, and everyone else in the building, with confidence that he could succeed. By the end, there was understandable frustration from players since it became obvious that Tannehill wasn't the answer. Gase's experience helping quarterbacks is one of his enticing traits. He helped transform the Broncos' offense midstream in 2011 during the great Tim Tebow experiment that pushed Denver into the playoffs. Gase, the Broncos' quarterbacks coach at the time, had a significant role with offensive coordinator Mike McCoy to tailor a scheme to Tebow's strengths. That's one of Gase's best qualities. He understands how to maximize a player's strengths. He also understands which personnel makes most sense for his schemes, which was not necessarily the case with the last Jets coaching staff. Gase also brought out the best in Jay Cutler in Chicago in 2015 when the historically erratic signal caller threw for a career-low 11 interceptions with a career-high 92.3 passer rating. Manning had a career renaissance working with Gase for 2 years in Denver that produced a Super Bowl appearance and the highest-scoring season in NFL history. Gase had to dust off Cutler in 2017 after Tannehill's season-ending injury. He managed 6 wins that season with Cutler, Matt Moore and David Fales under center. Again, a miracle. Gase has confidence and leadership traits coming of his pores. He has all the traits to be successful the second time around in charge. His decision to turn over his defense to Vance Joseph in his first season helped produce the Dolphins' first playoff appearance since 2008. Joseph, a free agent after getting fired in Denver, would make sense to be the Jets' new defensive coordinator. Gase won't have contractual control of the 53-man roster like he did in Miami, but there's no real reason to think that he wouldn't be able to work well with Mike Maccagnan. By all accounts, Johnson and Maccagnan ran a thorough operation during their search. They asked all the right questions before making this critical decision. Time will reveal whether they were right this time, but it sure looks and feels like they nailed it with Gase.